Good morning, everybody. We are back out here in Naperville, Illinois, doing some early morning trash picking. And the first stop that we have is this nice pink dresser. Looks like we got a couple drawers that are kind of just sitting in here. We'll have to check those out and see if there's any issues with them. Looks like we might have a slight issue here. That probably could be fixed though, if we want to. The track is kind of sitting a little bit awkwardly. Let's see about this one down here. This one's just fine on the bottom, but we just have an issue there. I'm going to try to get this drawer back in, and maybe we will throw this in the van. I think that's salvageable. But thanks for joining me. We're gonna get this loaded up and we're gonna continue on and see what we can find. So thanks for joining me. Leave me a like if you can, that really helps out. So let's go see what we can find. The sun is coming up and we have something right here. I kind of thought originally it was like a broken trellis, but I think these might be chairs. Now that I'm looking at them, I think I'm right. Have to see how these go. These are pretty neat. They kind of look uncomfortable, to be honest. I think Costco sells these. Let's see here. Got a little bit of damage to this leg right here, but that's not that big of a deal. I think that's pretty decent chair. Let's take a seat, check it out. Yeah. About as uncomfortable as I thought they were, but the style is kind of trendy, so I think these should still sell. Over here, what I'm really after is potentially this cabinet. People like cabinets, people like storing stuff. People got too much stuff and they need places to go with it, so they're always looking for a nice cabinet. This one's a little dirty, but that can be cleaned up, no problem. The interior is not bad at all. So we'll be taking this along. I think this is a nice little piece. The drop leaf table is nice, but I have a very hard time getting even $10 in my market for these. So we're gonna end up leaving that. It's just gonna take up too much space this time of year. I can't really be taking stuff like that because I don't have that much space, to be honest with you. So we'll throw this cabinet in the van, and down the street, I don't know if you could see, I'll zoom in just a little bit. There's potentially a pink chair, which could be kind of cool. So we'll go check that out. And here is that chair. I feel like we're gonna have to make a decision on this, if it's in good enough shape to take. It's definitely not perfect, but it's a unique enough piece that it might be worth it. We're gonna have to see why it's so wobbly. It's definitely supposed to spin, but why is it rocking so much? I don't know if that's coming up on the camera. I don't know how you would really fix that. Let's sit in it. Yeah, maybe it's supposed to do that. I can't really tell. It's definitely a cool piece. I just don't know if it's in that great of condition. Kind of tempted to take it though. We already got that pink dresser earlier, so we might continue on with the trend of pink little project pieces. This might clean up, might not. We'll take it and see what happens. We have a couple of white dressers, which could be pretty good. This one here, obviously, the drawer here at the bottom is kind of wonky. Let's check it out and see if we can just get it back in there. It's actually going to be, this one here is going to be missing at least, yeah, this one's missing both of the tracks on the bottom drawer. So we're going to have to leave that one, but let's check out this guy and see if we have something to do here. That's fine. That seems fine. Now the last factor is going to be the top here. It looks kind of stained here, but I think think we're actually good. So we'll take this guy. I'm gonna take the, yeah, it's fine. It's not perfect, but it's usable. We're gonna take the wrap off, at least of these bottom 2 drawers, to make sure. I probably would have left it, to be honest. You know what? No, I don't know. I kind of had the thought that would this drawer fit there, because I might like that one better because of a lot of paint on this one, but the long drawers, the long dressers are better anyway. So let's just kind of see if we can make sure that these drawers are both at least having the tracks on. Yeah, that one's there. And then we'll work on this one, but we'll take this along with us. This should be a decent piece. Even with the little bit of paint there, it shouldn't affect the value all too much. All right, and now we are back going out a couple days later than that last clip. It has been a very rainy week here in Chicago, so I've been not able to go Monday or Tuesday. So it is now Thursday morning and we are back out. Hopefully we can find some good stuff. This is the first stop that I am checking out, and we're gonna kind of tell how bad it rained last night by how wet this piece is. And this one honestly doesn't seem like it's wet at all. Maybe a little bit, but it's actually a pretty nice piece right there. Wish that the pegs here were, you know, a little bit more rounded, but this style is kind of throwing me off a little bit, but you know, a little bit there. But honestly, overall, I think this is not too bad. I think this is definitely a takeable item. Looks like they cleared out their media room here. We have one of these towers to put, you know, all your electronics on. This is an old radio tape player. And then we have a CD tower, which is actually kind of cool for what it is. It's got 3D guitars and violins and stuff on there, which is kind of cool, but those don't really sell that well nowadays, especially after they've gotten wet. The main thing I wanted to check out was this tripod here, because it could be worth something. Pivot Point, I think that's a Academy of Photography around here. I'm not sure if it's like a whole worldwide thing, but we do have some duct tape on here, so it's definitely been, you know, broken at some point. So I'm going to leave that, unfortunately, as well. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it's to hold music. You know, you put your note sheets on there, and yeah, so that's what that is. But unfortunately, there's nothing here for us. This piece right here is pretty cute. Looks like some kind of planter holder. I thought this was part of it. This is just a different planter. I guess you put, I'm not sure exactly what you put there. I wonder if it's going to be easy for somebody to, you know, replace whatever is there, or maybe you just don't use it as a plant holder and you just put it in your yard as, you know, yard art, because it is kind of cute, this little girl statue. So we'll grab it, we'll figure it out. I'm not so sure about this piece though. Unfortunately, we'll just probably end up leaving that. It's gonna be hard to sell just one little pot, but this is probably gonna be our best find. It's always really hard on days that, you know, obviously it rained last night, so pretty much most of this wood furniture that was sitting out for a while is already trashed. So you're really looking for metal stuff, maybe some kids' toys when it rains like this. So you gotta take what you can get though. I can tell that this is definitely soaked, but it's gotta be checked out to make sure that it's definitely too far gone. And honestly, I think I could dry that off, no problem. I think it could be decent if the drawers are all right. It's definitely been painted, which is kind of unfortunate. But I mean, the drawers for an antique dresser like this are not terrible. So this is probably worth grabbing. I'll get my towel out of the van and see how this will dry up, but I think it's a nice piece. It looks honestly modern the way they did it, and that's kind of hurt the value of it, but you could definitely tell by the way the back is that it's definitely a really old piece. We have some pedestal planters. Kind of seems like we might have every size available. People like to take these off when they throw them away. So we got, let's see, we have two big base, one small. So we got one small right there, two big bases there. So we'll definitely take all these. It's gonna come down to, do we want to try to get rid of this one that's been painted this tacky blue? I think we're gonna leave just this one. I think it's too far gone with the paint job. Somebody would really probably need to paint it up again, and I'm not so sure how that's gonna hold up. And I can tell looking at the camera here, it doesn't look as bad as it does in person. This is a very unique pot, but we'll take these three and we should do pretty well on them. These are definitely the best kind of plastic pot, these pedestal ones. They're definitely the most desirable. Back behind this trash can, we have what appeared to be like a table, like a barrel table. Obviously this got wet, but I don't think that that's gonna really affect how it's gonna be. I would definitely need to wait to post this, because this is gonna need to dry up a little bit. It's definitely a little warped on the bottom, but for what it is, I think that it's still doable, still usable. Could be wrong, might not be able to get rid of it, but I honestly think I probably can, even in the condition that it's in. This should dry up decent. I mean, a barrel, if this is actually a real barrel, which I think it is, I mean, it's meant to hold water, so at some point it got wet. Maybe not the same type of wet, but you know what I mean. And this top will definitely be fine. So I'm gonna grab it, see how it dries out. I think that's a really nice looking piece. This was actually kind of the pile that I was looking for when I came out this morning. This is kind of cool, this Razor scooter. I don't see the charger with it, but it does power up. So it could potentially work, and then somebody just needs to get a charger. I will take a look at that quickly after we check out the Cozy Coop. I never have any issues getting rid of these, no matter what the condition. So we'll definitely be grabbing that. These, on the other hand, I do have a hard time when they're in this. Obviously, this one's broken with the way the steering wheel is on that one, but especially this older style of these, they're pretty hard to get rid of if they're not pretty much pristine. So we're gonna be leaving that. And these are kind of cool. We'll take this one as well. This little twirly, I don't know what these are called, but we'll take that. And then I'm gonna take a look at this. Not sure how this even really works. I would sit on it if it wasn't wet. I don't want to get my seat all wet. I don't know. I'll take a look at this off camera, and I'll let you know if I do grab it. Threw that Cozy Coop in the van, and I found the accelerator on that little motorbike, and nothing was happening on it. And then that blue little car there was cracked right here on the front, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to leave that too. Funny thing is, they got a armbrust heating, plumbing, and air van in their driveway, and my hot water tank went out this last night. So I'm gonna be calling them when they open at 7:30. So maybe that van's gonna be coming to my place to potentially get me a new hot water tank. There's another thing that I can definitely tell got wet last night just by looking at it, but I'm hoping that it's salvageable to some extent, as the garbage man just drove past on the main road. Well, that's not even the main issue with it. Fresh and healthy. And it's got a broken board. This could definitely be glued together and clamped. So it's definitely salvageable. And I think the wood is decent. This top one definitely got wet, but it kind of blocked the bottom two from really getting any kind of moisture on it. So I think it should be salvageable. This piece of wood could definitely be glued back together, clamped, and still usable. So we'll grab this.